Hey guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. A few people already here. We've got Faris and another Faris. I wonder who the other Faris is. Faris is going 3-1 United. I will call the one with the capital F Big Faris and the one with a little F Little Faris. And since Little Faris is a United fan, I don't have a problem with that. That's Little Faris. Yeah, you're Big Faris. That's Little Faris, the United fan. Who's excited? Excited, nervous. Mahrez, top football with his Mahrez comment. I can read that. My Arabic does go that far to it. Mahrez, Ikram. Evening, Ikram. Who's excited? Who's nervous? 4 minutes before team news is out. 4 minutes or so. Obviously, just keeping tracks on what's going down. A win today would make you Ikram. A win would be brilliant. We've already had Man City's women's team. They won on last Sunday. Was it Everton 3-0? They beat Gothenburg in midweek in the Champions League. The men's team obviously won Champions League against Marseille. They won last weekend as well. Everybody's excited. Hey, Vertigo, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? And Prithvi, everybody's excited for this game. Oh. Who's this second Faris? He's Little Faris. Little Faris, the United fan. I think that's what we can say. Obviously, just waiting for team news. I'm just going to pop this. Looking at the boys, I've seen Ferran Torres there, or on the dirty side of Manchester. Just seeing if there's anything going down, guys. As much as they're in poor form, but their tactic to park the bus and counter covers their horrible form. Absolutely, Faris, spot on. We should play Sterling, Jesus and Torres. No, Mahrez is Marcus. Ain't happening, Marcus. Well, you don't know. Pep is his own, obviously, he's his own man. He's going to pick whoever he wants. And you're right, Faris, I expect them to... Look, what do they rely on? Parking the bus, pace. People were like, I don't think Martial will be playing, but Rashford, bags of pace. They're relying on people with pace. They have got good players. I mean, Bruno Fernandes is a decent player. Not a patch on KDB, but he's a decent player. You've got people like Rashford, excellent pace. Pogba, if he plays properly, is a good player still. So, you don't spend that amount of money on a team to have a bad team. You've got to have a lot of decent players, really. If you spend, you can argue whichever way you want, but Pogba's still a decent player. At the back, they spent a lot of money on Luke Shaw when they bought him. They spent a lot of money on Harry Maguire. You never know. Or Vertigo. We don't make fun of people. There's no point. Robert Aki always pockets Rashford and Martial. If we play Torres on the right, then we get to make the pitch wider instead of using inverted wingers, but would love to see Mahrez. I want the wide pitch. Ollie said some players are refusing to play and train. That's not good, but maybe that's just a bit of talk to make us too confident. Top football, I think Mahrez will play. I think Mahrez will start. Pogba is not included. So, all right, Faris, I've not been looking at. I don't look at United stuff. I just know he's a half decent player. Martial and Cavani may return from injury. Highlighted a double pivot of Fernandinho, Rodri, Mendy at left back. Like there's so much space in that Champions League game. Yeah, it's first game back, but I would have Cancelo all day long. Hard, I feel Cavani could trouble our defenders. Yeah, he's going to cause a lot of trouble. Mr. Penalty Hernandez, but Bruno Fernandes. Virtual hug from Top Football. Guys, 1 minute to go. Come on. Let's get this team news out. As we know, on the penalty, the question is absolutely. Walker conceded last time. How about Mendy? Come on. It's 1 minute to go. Leicester got the better deal by selling Maguire and getting Soyuncu. Yeah, I agree. I think they already had Soyuncu. Probably not including the players that aren't training and playing. Right. Walker always commits in the box, says Leah Teal. Hardy's hoping nobody gives penalties away. Right, it's time. It's time, guys. Here we go. Edison, Walker, Diaz, Cancelo, Fernandinho, Rodrigo. So there's your Fernandinho in, guys. De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling, Jesus. Pretty much what I said. I don't like that. I don't like getting it right. I don't like getting it right, guys. I don't like getting it right. Just because the last time I got it right, we lost. So I'm not comfortable with that. Not comfortable. Anyway, guys, that's the team. On the subs bench, we've got probably who you'd expect. We've got Zach Steffen, Ilkay Gundogan, Laporte, Bernardo, Torres, Mendy, and Phil Foden. So what do you reckon, guys? Is that the team that you'd like? Are you happy? Are you happy with that? Just going to pop it out on social media there. Are you happy with that team lineup? It's one of them. It's as good as I think we can put out. A lot of people wanted Fernandinho. He's there. Aguero's not even on the bench. He's not fit enough, Faris, for a game like this. I don't think so. That's all I can suggest. Anyway, let's go through your comments because you guys have blasted me. Oh, I didn't even put it up here, guys. I was reading it out. Sorry, my apologies. I was reading it out. So I'll use Faris's. So let's go through your comments. Jan wants Stones to start, and Stones is there. Fernandinho and Rodri. Leotil's happy. Rodri and Ferner pivot says Pharisee's happy. Haj predicted it. That's a routine lineup, says Prithvi. Leotil's happy with this lineup. Would have had Silva over Fernandinho, but I don't mind, says Ikram. No Aguero, no bench. I mean, let's be honest, all those other players are going to be full of beans. I just don't think Aguero's fully fit. Even though he had 25 minutes last game, you know, Pep's got to look at it and say who's going to do the business. Maybe he's had another little niggle. Who knows? Would have thought Gundogan would start. I think simply because he had a slight knock, but I'm not going to hold it against him. Brad, yeah, Aguero's not even on the bench. As I said, it's only one or two, couple of things. Either he's not fit enough. Maybe he's had another little niggle. Maybe it's just that these other guys, we obviously need some defenders in there. So you got Laporte there, you got Mendy there. You need some midfielders. So you got Bernardo, Foden, and Gundogan, and you need someone up front. And maybe Pep said later in the game, Torres will give us pace. Aguero won't. I don't know. Aaron's not sure about Rodri. Faris would have had Fern over Bernardo. Well, Fernandinho is starting. Not sure about Rodri, says Aaron. Ikram wants Stones to smash it. Aaron likes the fact Fernandinho's there, but he could tire. I don't care if he tires after 70 minutes. What I want from that first half, what you need from that first half, you need not to let them score. You need to be compact. You need to be repelling every attack of theirs. So I want your best player. And if Fernandinho only lasts 60 minutes, then he only lasts 60 minutes. But you saw against, was it Leeds? Oh, no, Leicester. You take Fernandinho off, that's when you crumble. So Fernandinho, for me, as long as he's fit enough. Mendy needs to be eased into the big game, says Splitter. Who cares? Pep doesn't use subs anyway, it's his call. Can anyone post the United lineup? Someone might, Prithvi. I'm not going to do it unless someone puts it up there. For a game like this, Fernandinho, first team on the team sheet, says Luke. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. United have the same back five with Fred, McTominay as the pivot, Pogba with Bruno and Rashford, with Greenwood. Aguero's even a sub. What the heck says Olivier? Yeah, can't be fit enough. If we keep Rashford and Bruno quiet, we will be okay. It's going to be important, that midfield. That midfield battle is going to be really, really important. And maybe that's why you want someone like Fernandinho there, who will definitely get stuck in. He'll definitely get stuck in. No Cavani or Martial starting, says Faris. That's interesting. I'd have Bernardo instead of Rodri, but I want to see Rodri really do well today, says Luke. Beyond Ultra Gaming, I think we have a very solid team, and there, Kedby should have more freedom in attack. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Hey, anybody new to the channel, please, we're just, 20 short of 3,000. So if you can hit that subscribe button, it'll help us get to 3,000. And, give us a like and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Let's go through United's team. Thank you, Akil P, for putting it up. De Gea, that's great news. I would rather have De Gea there than Henderson. Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Greenwood. Funny thing is, United's team is so far off it. If you'd gone back 10 years, I could have rattled off United's team. I'd pretty much know 7 or 8 players that would be starting. They had such a good team. And now, I'm looking at that team, I'm trying to remember their players. It's a struggle to remember all players, with people like Lindelof there, Shaw there, McTominay and Fred. I can't remember these guys. Yeah, Faris says Bernardo isn't on form. Why do you think Laporte isn't guaranteed starting on Marcus? Because Stones is doing the business. Stones and Diaz are doing the business. Maybe, as has been suggested, Laporte's opened his mouth. Remember, when he got injured, since he's got injured, Stones and Diaz have taken over. Diaz is the number 1, if you ask me, and Stones has not done anything wrong. So where does that leave Laporte? You have to fight your way back in. And maybe he thinks he can get in on reputation alone. Pep said that ain't happening. Ikram Aguero probably will be a sub against West Brom, then look to start the week after against Arsenal, Carabao Cup quarter-final. I hope so, Ikram. I hope we can eventually get Aguero back. But this is the worry. Because, in all honesty, he's been out for 5 months and he's not back yet. He's getting a few minutes here and there. He's not back. Hey, Jason, the Bill ABC TV. I hope we win against United. Me too, buddy. Fernandinho is in the team because United will try to hit us on the counter, and they've got quick players like Rashford. Absolutely right call. And Fernandinho is the boss. Hard chase, inshallah, Man City will beat Man United today. I didn't know. I thought Haj. I thought that was a Harjinder. I thought that was a Harjinder Haj. Abdallah Al-Mami, Pep loses questions to be asked about his record of all in United. Yeah, look, you can ask the same about visits to Anfield. It's just sometimes you have teams and grounds that for whatever reason, you have a problem. Harches 3-1 to City, KDB, Sterling and Mahrez. Queen versus King saying 3-0, 2-1. Jesus and De Bruyne says Queen versus King. All right, 2 to Jesus, 1 to De Bruyne. Sorry. 2-2 says the Crumble Hope. And Ron Marcus says, what do you think of Christian Falk tweeting out, we're aiming for Haaland to be Aguero's successor? I've not seen that. Marcus. I've heard that City are interested in him, and you've got to be interested in him because he's that good at a talent, he's that good a player. But look, we don't know if that's the truth. Yash, a bit worried about the possible lack of width with Cancelo left back instead of Mendy. Look, Yash, if Pep asks Cancelo to stay on the wing, he'll stay on the wing. I don't worry about the width because I think he can do. Cancelo can do what he wants on the wing. I think he's better than Mendy out there. Since he scored his first goal against United, I can't believe that he hasn't scored against United. Robert, KDB to score. Wouldn't mind him scoring a hat-trick, mate. He's my fantasy captain. No, I moved it to Salah this week. I moved it to Salah because I just thought it might be a tight game against United. Mark, where is Aguero? Not injured again, disaster. We don't know. Obviously, the question will be asked of Pep before the game. Where is Sergio Aguero? Why is Mendy not playing Queen versus King? Because I think Pep obviously prefers Cancelo. I think Cancelo offers us more going forwards. Generally, he can go out and in. He's a threat. Cutting in because he can shoot. Okay, he's slightly off target, but that's a threat to the other team because you don't know. With Mendy being left-footed, you're pretty sure that Mendy's not going to cut in, and if he does cut in, he's very unlikely to shoot. With Cancelo, you don't know if you're worried that he might go on the outside or cut inside and have a shot. So it's easier to quite possibly fool the defender. Whereas with Mendy, pretty much Mendy's going on the outside or passing it. So there's less of a worry, and you're happy, to show him on the outside because if you think that's less dangerous than cutting in on the edge of the box and having a shot. And I think that's where Cancelo can do really well. And I hope Pep said, shoot on sight, Cancelo, shoot on sight because you've got to score eventually. Abdallah with a low blow there saying Ole is a PE teacher. Luke Cage says, yeah, I heard that too. He usually gets the big scoops, so something might be true about it. City definitely interested. You got to remember, obviously, his dad played for the club. You've seen him wearing a City shirt. as a kid. You know, he must have some affinity to the club. Lovely to get him. Lovely to get Claudio Reyna's son as well. Forgot his first name now. You know, he's what, 17 years old. Exceptional talent. But we'll see. And look, I said it would be lovely to get. It'd be fantastic to get Haaland and Patson Daka. That would be great. That would just be like awesome. We've won one of the last 4 derbies, Ikram. Yeah, not good news. Ollie's done well for us against us, to be fair. Nervous for this one. Cole, you've got to be nervous. You've got to be confident and nervous. Akash, why no Foden? Foden doesn't play in the league anymore. He doesn't start. He starts the Champions League games. Now, that might change next year in February. But Foden's generally starting the Champions League games and not so many league games. Mendy, I think Pep's just gone for Cancelo. I think Cancelo's just a little bit more reliable. Laporte can't get in ahead of Diaz and Stones. Simple as that. John Grogan, Gundogan must have a knock, but Ferner will protect the back four. Sterling never scores against United and Liverpool. Always a bottle job. He scored against Liverpool last game, John, when there were no fans. He's turned into a biscuit. Yeah, he looks a bit injured. Let's forget the passes to Haj. How does Foden not getting over Mahrez? Mark beats me. I'd have had Foden playing a bit more. But hey, look, all I can suggest is for the long run. Giovanni Reina, that's the one beyond Ultra Gaming. Thanks for letting me know. Akil Mahrez will be the key in this match. He should be able to get the better of Shaw. He should be City's most potent weapon today. If you think about it, could well be right, because on the left, Sterling's going to be up against Wan-Bissaka. So he always seems to pocket Sterling. So we're looking to Mahrez to do the business against Shaw, fool him, trick him, turn him inside out and get those good crosses in. But we have to start putting good crosses in. It's no point. It's not good just beating the man, getting to the byline. They've got to be crosses that give us a good chance of scoring. They can't be hit and hope. Mr. Roll-Up, Cancelo doesn't provide the crosses into the box from the left like Mendy, but we don't have anyone to get on the end of them. Anyway, absolutely right, Mr. Roll-Up. I do think Cancelo did make a cross the other week when we scored or had a header that was saved. Maybe that was a Porto game. But the thing is, you're right. If we've got no one in the box to finish them, then why are we going to pump them in? We're better off having more control on the ground and maybe cutting inside or maybe trying to get to the byline and cut them back. Mahrez should destroy Shaw, says Ikram. Hope so. City not paid the money for Haaland, terrified of No, John, nothing to do with FFP. City have got the money, John. Even with the COVID situation, City have the finances available to get the big players. They have that. We could have got Messi. We can afford it. Obviously it's a bit more difficult to get Haaland and Messi and maybe others. But when City need the money, they will provide. They can easily borrow the money. It's not a problem from Sheikh Mansour, or they can do the United route, borrow it from a bank. No problem. Jesus in a strike. He's a winger. Yes, Queen versus King, but he's a threat up top. Haaland's release clause is an absolute bargain, says Cole. 80 million, sure is. Foden has not been better than Mahrez in recent matches, says Mr. Roll-Up. I don't think Mahrez has been brilliant, but Foden hasn't done enough in the Champions League, I don't think, to show that he deserves to start ahead of Mahrez. Mr. Roll-Up says, Haaland's release clause doesn't activate until summer 2022, so it will cost 100 million. I think the 100 million, 80 to 100 million is what you're looking at. I'd pay that all day long. I remember Saka always leaves the back post up and we need to be hitting balls behind him for Sterling to run on to, says Cole. Well, look what Angelino did to Aaron Wan-Bissaka because the way United was set up. And that's the thing for City. Because City has so much of the ball, there's not a lot of space behind Aaron Wan-Bissaka when we're attacking. Yeah. But for Leipzig, they had the space and he got roasted by Angelino. Angelino murdered him. Anyway, he's got 3 Premier League goals. Is that Foden? Queen versus King. You got to tell me who. Hey, Cheshire Homebrew, not seen you for a little while. Confident 3-1. Take that. Take that all day long. Who's been injured, Ikram? Jesus. 3-3 is all right, Queen versus King. Got to remember, Jesus missed 4 or 5 weeks. He must have missed. City have only played 10 league games, okay? And I bet you Jesus hasn't started more than 5. 5 or 6. View says, do you think Stones will cause problems today? Should Laporte be starting? No, I think everybody said, as far as we're concerned, almost everybody wanted Stones to start. So I have no problem with Stones starting. Look, we've got to find out. Remember, Stones in the Centurion season and the Formidable season, he was the number one. He was the number one partner on the right. He pushed Kompany out until he got injured and then lost his confidence. But he was the number one starter. Okay, so we've got to see if Stones can get back to that level. The level that he was number one. And you don't just disappear. You don't just become absolutely cracking player. And as I said, you do not become rubbish overnight. You don't have such a good 12, 15 games at the start of the Centurion season and same in the Formidable season and then suddenly become rubbish. He's a blooming good player. So you've got to have the confidence that John Stones will come back to that level. He's only, 26 years old. You don't chuck him away on the scrap heap. If he can get back to that level, he's a fabulous player to have. Fabulous player. Look at all the times he saved us. And when you look at the games that he's played in the last 4 games, we haven't conceded. Okay, the opposition hasn't been great, but John Stones has done the business. And he actually, with Ruben Dias, has looked very, very solid. And actually, when you look at the player ratings we've been doing over the last few games, John Stones is usually in the top 2 or 3. So you can't question him right now. Look, he might throw in a mare. It happens. It can happen. But we've got to see if John Stones is the John Stones of old. Is he back? And if he's back, that's huge. Honestly, guys, it is huge to have John Stones back at the level he was in that Centurion and Formidable seasons, in those 2 seasons. Jesus hasn't been bad recently, especially in the Champions League. Look, beyond Notre Dame, remember when he came back? He scored a couple of 2 or 3 brilliant goals since he's come back. So he's doing the business. I have no problem with Jesus right now. Yes, I don't get the same confidence with Jesus as I get with Aguero, but that's because Aguero's got all that credit in the bank, and Jesus has been through a bad patch, and that's what focuses on our mind. That's what fills our mind. Aguero's brilliant, and Jesus isn't, and it's hard to disassociate from the past. When Aguero has been brilliant and Jesus hasn't been good, but things are changing. We have been playing really well, but need to convert more chances. I agree, Cheshire Homebrew. Abhishek, Sterling on the left wing again against Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, I'm not cool with that, Abhishek. I'd love it to be the other way around, and just to see what Mahrez can do against him. This is the thing, Mahrez will use trickery because he hasn't got the pace, so he'll use trickery, whereas Sterling too much now. He's just hitting the ball past and using his pace. And when you got someone who's a bit cleverer and clued up and has got an equal or better pace, then Sterling's going to struggle. You've got to use a little bit of guile. You've got to use a little bit of creativity. Mahrez has got that. If Mahrez had Sterling's pace, Mahrez could be one of the top 5 players in the world. But he hasn't, and he won't be. Hope we don't give a goal on the counter, says Abhishek. Cancelo should be pushing forward. Fernandinho can cover, says Haj. Stones is better than Laporte at the moment, plus he provides something more with his ability to push forward, says Mr. Roll-Up. Totally agree. Thought Jesus 3 Premier League goals this season is okay. I love the play, says Queen versus King. Cancelo could run rings around Wan-Bissaka if he gets Torres, says beyond Notre Dame. I would have started Torres against AWB, says Cole. That's an idea. I mean, if Aguero was fit, I'd have been tempted to put Sterling on the right and Jesus on the left and Aguero up top, but Aguero is never going to be fit enough. I haven't really seen Mahrez on the left. It's hardly ever done it, maybe a couple of times that I've off the top of my head, but it's just something different, Haj. That would surprise everybody. Shanu, how you doing, buddy? Shanu's going for a 2-0 to City. KDB free kick and Torres to score off the bench. Unless Gabby goes on the left, which I'm not sure about, Haj. Look, we could try that again. We could try that, mixing them around like we've done before. Ikram, I will never compare Jesus to Aguero or expect him to achieve and do the things Aguero did. I think it's unfair to compare. I don't compare them directly because they're different kind of players. But if you're going to play the same position, then you got to do the business. You can try to beat AWB 1-on-1. You need to beat him off the ball movements. It's called Bernardo. Queen versus King thought Bernardo was start. I was tempted to have him as an attacking midfielder, but when you know that Pep's going to do the double pivot, It's really hard for Bernardo to start unless, you know, Pep's going to use him as part of the double pivot. I just couldn't see it because I just couldn't see him getting ahead of our front three of Sterling, Jesus and Mahrez. I just couldn't see Bernardo pushing any of them to the bench. And since Mahrez didn't start in midweek, I just thought that was a gimme that. But Mahrez will start today. I'm just checking to see what's going down, guys. So, guys, if you are new to the channel, it would be fantastic. We're not that far away from 3,000 subscribers. I think we're about 20 away. It would be great to get them today. As I said, we should get them by Christmas, but Christmas is getting closer, and we're not getting those 3,000 up to that 3,000. We've actually stopped in the last week getting the channel. Please subscribe, get us to 3,000. Please help us and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. And give us a thumbs up, guys. Give us that thumbs up. So let's see what you guys are saying. Shanu says Walker is better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and he's overrated by many United fans. Kaji's KDB is crucial, and that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is too overrated. Abhishek, I thought 4-2-4 would be better with United, but Pep knows better. We can't do 4-2-4. Abhishek, that midfield is going to be crucial. That midfield, they got Pogba, they got Fernandes. If they're on the game, that's a tough midfield. That's why I think we're going with Fernandinho, because he's the best man. He's the best at his job. No one can compete with him. So I think that's why we've gone down that route. I think that's why we've gone down that route. 33 guys watching, guys. Come on. We should have 33 ticks or 30 ticks or whatever right now. 16 likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And keep hitting that. If you, as I said, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Help us to get to 3,000. We can't do it without you guys. So how long before the game? We got almost 38 minutes before the game kicks off. Who's nervous? Hands up if you're nervous. Hands up if you're excited. Yeah, there's a lot of, you got the butterflies before any game. But a derby, growing up, hardly ever winning derbies, it's really, really important that the players understand what it means to the fans. It's easy to say oh yeah, we're doing it for the fans and all that. Last season, I don't think they did, where we lost 3 times out of 4 games against United. Losing to them twice in the league. These little things where we're a better team than them. We lost twice in the league. And yes, winning those games would have helped us catch Liverpool, but would have been much closer. Would have been on 87 points. And I said it last season, we didn't put them under pressure. We didn't see if they'd crack. Yeah, they might have cracked, but we didn't put them under pressure to test them. So we need to make sure this season we've given away far too many cheap points. West Ham are 5th right now, aren't they? But we give them, we should have beat them. Leeds, we give them, Leeds are struggling now. We give them, we chucked away 2 points there. Leicester, Liverpool, we chucked away points. Spurs, we chucked away, we chucked away points. You can't do that. In half our games this season, we've chucked away points. You can't do that. Ikram, nervous but excited. Every derby's like that, mate. I'm nervous about Bruno says Coley will get some sort of penalty again. Yeah, look, he'll be diving. He'll be diving. We know that. I'm nervous, me, but we could end up losing this game, and we're playing away as well. Absolutely beyond forgiving. Always nervous on derby day, says Cheshire on Brute. Always. Shanu, I think we will be comfortable defensively, but if we don't take a chance, we will be punished. Jesus needs to make runs in the box. We need to be clinical for a change. Can't remember the last time Edinson saved a penalty. Says no penalties, please. Says Abhishek. I think Aubameyang when we won 3-0. Says Ikram. Score prediction. Says Andrew. I don't want to do one today. Don't want to do one. If you guys watch my preview that I did with Natalie, I said United to win 3-2, City to get ahead, and United to come back and beat us because that's what United do. Look, I was there for the derby when in our Centurion season at Etihad Stadium, we were winning 2-0 at half time, could have been 4 or 5-0 up. And second half they did us. And that was tough to take. That was tough to take. Queen versus King, I think this is more important than the Liverpool game. It is for bragging rights. Hey, Alexandros, how you doing, buddy? Kalispira to you. Mr. Roll-Up, better not to see silly. I don't want to see that hot penalty, that little skip. Is it fair? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Mario used to take a little pause? Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. To be honest, it doesn't feel good. But if your player's doing it, then who cares? I think that's the way we generally look at football. Ikram, I give my score 3-2 to United. Dre, how you doing, buddy? I haven't seen you for a while. Dre likes the lineup. Shanu says, if we be clinical, we be... Oh, yeah, it can be 4-0 City. No problem about that. We're just not clinical enough. That's the problem. Keep it simple, says Dre. 2-1 to City. Jesus, Sterling, Rashford says, Cole. Beyond Notre Dame. If we go top 4, absolutely. If we win this, we will go top 4, won't we? Because United, before today's game, or yesterday's games, United were 4th, we were 5th. So we'd leapfrog them. And so we'd be at least 4th. Only change would be Laporte, says Dre. LG and Kai says 1-0, 2-0, 1-2, 2-2. And then, that would be a killer, man. That would be a killer, LG and K. United to win in the 95th minute, 3-2 from the spot. Cheshire Homebrew was at the Etihad that day when, that was just horrible. If you're in Manchester, you might have heard me on the radio. I mentioned that game. I mentioned that game because City fans were really quiet. Once it got to 2-2, almost silence from then on in. And you just knew what was happening. You knew what was coming. It was supposed to be our day to beat them, win the title, with the most number of games to spare, and beat them to win the title. It would have been awesome, and we chucked it away. We absolutely chucked it away, and that's what United can do. I like Kane and Ronaldo's penalties. No medicine, just hit it, says Ikram. Andrew Stones is playing over Laporte. Wow, absolutely. Abhishek, still remember 2-0 losing 3-2 in the derby. Sterling missed an open goal that day. Really nervous. Sterling missed. Gundogan missed a decent chance. We should have been outside. As Cheshire Homebrew says, should have been outside like a carnival at our time. Yeah, it was a party atmosphere at our time because we were all over them. We were mullering them 2-0. And as soon as the second half started, I think we had another good chance. And then we just threw it away. That 3-2 derby was the saddest I've been after a game for a long time. That could have been a historic day, and we actually bottled the occasion. The thing was, we knew we were going to win anyway, the title, but still, it was a kick. It was a right kick in the chops. That the key, says Dre, is Dino. Can he turn back time? He's looking fit. Don't worry about turning back time. It's only 2 years ago that the man was in the formidable seasons. 3 years ago, Centurion season. He was the man. So I don't worry about Fernandinho. Rohan says, I was hoping Mendy to buy the width. Why can't Cancelo do that? I think Cancelo's better going forwards than Mendy. And if Pep says stay out wide and don't cut in, then he'll stay out wide and don't cut in. Cancelo and Sterling will both cut inside. I'm not sure about that, says Rohan. It's up to Pep. It's up to Pep to tell them what to do. Generally should have been Ikram. It could have been even more than that. Honestly, as I said, we could have been 4, 5, 6 up before they scored, and we were miles the better side. It could have been 10. Really, it could have been 10. Beyond Ultra Gaming, 2018, we were 2-0 against Marinos. We hadn't bottled it absolutely. Rohan, we need to see overlap to this. Look, having those guys, that overlap is good as well, But you also need that surprise. You need to have that surprise that the defender worries that these guys can come on the inside and shoot and score. That gives you an opportunity for the guys to go on the outside. I've said it about Mahrez. When you see Mahrez coming on the inside, you know what he's going to do. And when he actually switches to his right foot, that surprises the defender and actually gives him a yard of space. And it's up to him to utilize that, make something of it. But getting excited, guys. Half an hour to go, guys. Any panic yet? There shouldn't be any panic, guys. Panic is wrong. Just hope Jesus can bag, says Man City. Rohan, Cancelo touching the sidelines is useless. I don't see both Sterling and Cancelo using their left to cross. Cancelo has done. Cancelo can do. Sterling, no. Sterling's crosses with his left foot, for me, are just pullbacks. So when I see Sterling at the bar line, I'm expecting a pullback, and that's it. I'm not expecting him to drive it across the 6-yard box. I think Cancelo can drive it across the 6-yard box, and I think he can cross. I think he's better on his left foot than Sterling. He can do a lot more with it than Sterling. So I'm not worried yet, but as I said, I think the last time I got a Man City first team 11 right was the game against Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final. So didn't do me any good then. Scored left foot bangers for City in Portugal and putting some nice crosses with his left foot. Cizé Cram, a couple of games for us like West Ham. Absolutely. I don't knock his left foot. He's got a great goal on his left foot for Portugal, says Beyond Notre Gaming. Nightbots is just, well, it's not even 30, it's 20 more subscribers, guys. 20 more subscribers. Dre's asking a question. Why do we as fans torture ourselves with watching these games? I'm nervous already. Because it's what football's about. It really is, Dre. If you don't watch these games, if you don't have tell me what's the best. Is it best to keep winning tight games? These tight games that you come out on top, where you prevail, where your stomach's in a knot and it's churning around and all that. When you win, it's just, the pleasure is indescribable. Thanks, Man City, for dropping the sub. Faris, I remember 3-2 United where Rooney had that. Faris, I will still say it wasn't beautiful. He timed it right, but it hit his shin. It hit his shin. He shinned it. When you're up there in age, you can actually lose it overnight. Worried about Dino's his call. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about Fernandinho. Even thinking about another contract extension. He's good enough. He's so fit. He's so fit. Don't worry about Fernandinho. Let's hope Mahrez roast Mahrez on the other wing. Mahrez can't roast Mahrez. He's going to roast Luke Shaw. Mahrez he's going to be carrying a mirror onto the pitch, Rohan. Jesus is fast, causes pressure to defenders. He can run rings around Lindelof and Maguire and be the main threat. Look, you look at Maguire, you look at Lindelof, you see how Maguire's been torn to pieces by pace, and the games like the Leipzig game, the games against PSG and others. You see how Maguire looks like an £8 defender, not an £80 million defender. So you put him under pressure and see what happens. That's it, Rohan. Let's hope Mahrez rolls short on the other side. On Costa Rica, Ikram, it's slowed down a lot, I've got to be honest. When we spoke in November, we were about less than 40 short. It's been very, very slow since then. I'm hoping this game helps to get people interested in the channel and give them subscribes. To be honest, at the end of the day, guys, it's not about subscribers, it's about views. So you can have 20,000 subscribers, but if you're getting 500 views on 20,000, it's a poor return. As you can go and see in other places on YouTube, you might have loads of subscribers, but if no one's watching, and I think we've had a bit of that with this channel. A lot of the people from last year have moved on. It's just the way it goes, guys. Just the way it goes. A lot of people move on. Life moves on, and a lot of the guys we had in the early days have disappeared. But for the ones who are still here, thank you so much. Angelino destroyed United the other day. Absolutely, Akram. He destroyed Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka didn't know what to do, and Angelino did the business. Faris out of the City squad, Fernandez is probably the only player I don't worry about his form and performance. He's always given a decent performance, Faris. Even as a centre-back, he's always put in decent performances. Beyond Rodrigo, David is still at his best, flying high in the league, so Fernandinho can do the same as he keeps himself very fit. Man City, can you say happy birthday to my dad, Mike? Yeah, happy birthday, Mike. He's having a tough time listening to you regularly. Oh, happy birthday, Mike. No worries. I'm always happy to pass on best wishes to people. Shanu says, would you bring back Angelino? No, Man City and Mike Oxlong. It's two Mikes. Would you bring back Angelino? Problem is, Shanu, Angelino never did it at City. Partly because we play a different way, partly because he didn't have the confidence and everything else. So I don't know. I was happy to let him go. Then you look what he's doing at Leipzig, and he's doing bits over there. So it's a really tough one. He's shown that he can compete. The problem is, will he be able to do it defensively? That's always been my concern with Angelino, is his defensive abilities. Rohan Walker will have a tough job on the right. 6% of United attacks come from that side. I'm concerned that Walker might be pinned back while we might not have enough overlaps on the left. Got to rely on Walker to his pace and stuff like that. Cheshire Ombre feedback is everything. Always enjoy your videos, mate. Even if I don't watch, it's always nice to have you guys on. Not always nice. Ikram, ban him. It's already done. Already done. Baited. Oh, come on, guys. because I read probably 95% of messages out. Where's the bait? Angelino is one of the best attacking fullbacks in the world, says Beyond. Yeah, look, a lot of teams want him now. And I think that's one of the reasons City got him back from, what was it, PSV? We got him back for that cheap price because we knew we could sell him on for good money. Now, look, the bottom line is we don't know if there's a gentleman's agreement or an agreement behind the scenes where we've said to Angelino, come back, we'll let you go for the right price. Million, but we'll say we'll sell you for 20 because that's a pre-arranged deal. And people shouldn't complain about that. Pre-arranged deal, you've got to have it pre-arranged and you've got to stick with it. Right, guys, I'm going to wind down. Aguero isn't playing because he's unwell, not COVID related. Happens hard. People get ill. And since he's come back from injury, why play if you're not well? Rohan, I'm waiting for KDB to show Bruno's boss. I hope so. I hope so. If City play with 3 centre-backs, then Angelino could be amazing. That's up to Pep. Some players won't fit into Pep's system, and it just looks like Angelino doesn't do that. Aguero's on, I'm doing a good stream on Twitch. I reckon he'll be in the stands. Come on, City, says JRX. Best player over the last decade, Shanu, David Silva. David Silva for me, graceful, magical, magician, always in control of the games. Paul Hartzell, 3-1 to City. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Like to see it. So, yeah, David Silva, comfortably for me. Aguero's up there, but David Silva, best player I've seen at City. Just the way, as I said, he controls games, the quality he's had, whether it's with long hair or short hair or the bald head, he's always generally done the business. He's taken a bit of stick. He's taken a bit of stick from some big accounts. I remember City Chief slagging him off, giving him a 0, which is why had I already blocked City Chief on Twitter. It was the biggest account. It was the biggest account. I'm not sure if City Extra's overtaken them, but City Chief, the guy put out some crap a couple of times, and then he turns around and says, "Oh, I was drunk," or whatever. I didn't mean to say that. He put some really disrespectful stuff about David Silva, so I blocked him. Sadly, people just allow idiots like that to have a big following. That's their choice. Ikram says David Silva #1, then Aguero, company, and the likes of Hart, Zaba, Toure, and Fernandinho. I kind of agree there. Rohan, and I hope this is not the game where Stones goes back to what he was. Let's hope. Let's hope. He does a good job. Beyond 100 gaming, David Silva has taken his new team Sociedad to the next level. Paul says you deserve more viewers. Cheers, mate. It's never going to happen. Okay, I've kind of accepted that. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to have that explosion of viewers, explosion of subscribers. It's what it is. I'm at that level. It's not going to go. I'm too, apparently on Twitter, I'm too political. That's the way it is, guys. If I believe in a fair society, that's my choice. I'd rather have fewer subscribers and do things my way and do things that I believe is the right way. Rohan Company has been the most influential player in our history. One of. It's not in the history. I think that in the recent history you can say it, but not the full history. Shani says man has been company because of his leadership, and that goal against Leicester was unbelievable, and how he defended. Silva and Aguero are up there as well. I agree, Shanu. I'm off. All right, guys, I'm off as well. Have a good game. I'm not going to, because I'm in France. When I'm in France, I don't do watch-alongs generally when I'm in France. So Ollie said start fast and pin us in. Well, let's see. But guys, I'll see you at full time. I hope the game goes the way we want. Cheers, JRX. That's right. Quality over quantity. Let's go, guys. Let's have a good game. Catch you at the end of the game, guys. Fingers crossed. Come on, City. We can do it. we've got to do it for the lads. Got to do it for the